Okay, so greetings everyone, and welcome back to our podcast series where we unravel the mysteries of wonders of the world and technology itself. Well, today we are diving deep into the world of machine learning, artificial intelligence, and AI, data science. And we have got today an absolute luminary who is joining with us. Please let us extend a warm welcome to the brilliant Dr. Rubell Maria Lincy. Dr. Rubell is more than just a name. She is an assistant professor at the prestigious IIIT Kottayam in Kerala. Prior to her role at IIIT Kottayam, Dr. Rubell was a faculty member at the esteemed National Institute of Technology, Calicut. Her academic journey culminated in a PhD from the Department of Mathematics at NIT Calicut, mentored by the esteemed Professor Jesse John C. Her dissertation focused on the fascinating realm of AI-based stock market-based decision making. Dr. Rubell's contribution extend beyond her research papers featured in esteemed international journals like Expert Systems with Applications. She is a respected reviewer for prominent publications such as Applied Intelligence and various other renowned international journals and conferences. To our incredible subscribers and viewers joining us today, let us get ready for an engaging and enlightening conversation as we journey into the depths of AI, machine learning, and data science with the exceptional Dr. Rubell Marian. Stay tuned. Well, Dr. Rubell, a very warm welcome to Physics for Students and wish you a Merry Christmas. I won't be wishing you Happy New Year. That will come much later. But a warm welcome to Physics for Students special podcast.
Yeah, good evening, Shaunak. Best wishes and season's greetings for all of your subscribers of Physics for Students and you also. And thank you for inviting me. Uh,
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. So, Dr. Rubell, my what I would like to ask you, we have a presentation just to let you know all the subscribers who are watching. Dr. Rubell will be presenting the presentation from time to time onwards. So, how do we go, Doctor? Shall I present the presentation first, or would that be a question first? What would you prefer?
yeah, I think I will just introduce. I just wanted to introduce on behalf of IIIT Kottayam. I just wanted to introduce to all of the people what IIIT Kottayam is about, and you can see the beautiful campus here. So I think after that we can go on with the questions. Will that
Okay.
be fine? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, as you saw, the that was the aerial view of the institute, and there are different courses offered. So that is, we have a list of courses. We have BTech MS in Computer Science Engineering, ECE, and CSE with specialization in AI and data science, and CSE with specialization in cyber security. And we also have joint degree MS programs, that is BTech MS program, where our students who are joining for BTech can do an MS in collaboration with University of Agder, Norway. And we are also going on with other universities abroad for joint MS programs. And we also have specific programs for working professionals, which is one is MTech program. So anyone who has done a BTech, and who's working and they want to parallelly upskill themselves, they can do a MTech for working professionals in AI and data science. We have three streams, so cybersecurity is there, and big data and ML is there. And we have another program which is integrated MTech, uh, uh, and that is actually like if you have a class 12th completed, and you have done some other degree or something, that is fine. And if you are working, currently working somewhere, you can join in that program. All these MTech and integrated MTechs are done in parallel to your employment. So it will be classes during weekends, and exams and all will be online, and final exam, every semester final exam will be offline, and also the project reviews will be offline. So in the integrated program, we have it is an integrated MTech. So you will have a BCA, MCA, and MTech, and you can exit at any stage. So at the end of BCA or at the end of MCA, or after completing MTech, you can exit with a degree. So that is about integrated MTech. Then we have PhD research is our faculties are doing research in around 90 plus scholars are there, PhD scholars. So PhD in different disciplines are provided, CSE, ECE, mathematics and cybersecurity. And
Okay.
postdoc also are under registration and things. And the admission is through, like for UG, it is through JOSA, CSAB, or DASA, and the institute comes under NIT plus system. So via joint counseling, like NITs, it is done the UG admission, and application through institute website can be given for MTech integrated MTech and PhD, and you can see the web links also correspondingly. And currently, our student strength is around 1,600 plus, and faculty strength is around 65, and all are PhD completed in esteemed institutes, and some of them are postdoc from foreign universities. And this is the placement statistics, as you can see, as the years passed, and we are in the current year. And current year still placements are going on, and we have the highest package of 58.9, and our average salary is 14 lakhs per annum, 14.3. And as of now, like we are only in the middle of the semester, we have one more semester for the end. As of now, we have 144 offers for the student. And internationally, we have a lot of collaborations, and you can go into our website at the right corner, you will see Recruiters Corner. So you can see a PDF of information of international linkages, our papers, how our UG students are doing their project works and presentations. Everything is available in there to go and visit. And I just want to, like, I have a limited time, so I just wanted to show you the campus beauty. So you can see the early mornings of a foggy morning of
Beautiful. Right.
IIIT Kottayam. We are like very near to a hill. So, and yeah, few more are there. Yeah. So it's kind of like living in a hill station, and doing research in this place. It's wonderful. So thank you for
Absolutely.
giving
Thank
me
you. Thank you
time.
for a virtual campus tour. Thank you. That's wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah. So anybody who is interested for further studies in terms of MTech, integrated data science, etc., I think that you can contact Dr. Rubell. I will provide her details also, and she can help you in the admission or any details regarding IIIT. Well, thank you, Doctor, for this wonderful virtual tour. And I mean to say, obviously, Kerala is a place of hills and greenery, so definitely it would be a wonderful place to do study and do a lot of research and brainstorming. Right? Thank you very much. So, Doctor, my first question to you would be that how does machine learning, I would say, differ from traditional programming? What is the difference, and why do we have got a trend nowadays more towards machine learning, not rather than the conventional programming? If you can just tell something on that.
Sure. Actually, first we want to know the difference mainly about computational, what is computational or sorry, classical programming, and what is machine learning. So the main difference is this classical programming. Any programming system, it is input, process and output, so that is the base structure. And the system, or we actually try to program the input and process. We will have an input and process, we will do some algorithm, we will put some code, and we will create a list of instructions, probably in some coding language, and then we will try to get achieve the output. So that is the classical programming setup. So in the classical programming setup, this process, this program is done by a human. So we will have a logical thinking from a human, and a programmer, a person will be coding the program and giving it to the system, so that like desired output is achieved. So that is the classical programming style. But in machine learning, this input and process, when it comes to process, the process is an algorithm, but the algorithm is not actually the list of instructions that is doing the process, but that algorithm is going to learn from the data. So sometimes it cannot be said as input process output, because here the process is done by an algorithm. The algorithm is designed by the human, but it doesn't directly become the process. Algorithm tries to learn the process using either only input or both input and output. So it is basically you have a data and you deploy an algorithm, and that algorithm will learn to tackle the issue or find out the output from the given data. So that is the difference between these two, the machine
That
learning
means,
and
if I may
math.
ask you, because I started computer programming with GW basic, Q basic long back, object oriented programming, C++. So that means, Professor, if we take a kind of a process like if x equals to 2, print Shonak, say for example. Now, what you're telling that if x equals to 2, print Shonak, this is done by human being, and the algorithm internal
Yes,
machine is actually processing. So in this kind of a
yes.
case, if I say if x equals to 2, print Shonak, for a machine learning, how will it happen? Can you just give me a example on that?
So this is a basic problem. So if x equal to 2, as you said, like you print your name, and this is not happening in machine learning. In machine learning, I can give you an example maybe.
Yes,
Like
please.
you have, I think we can go and talk about a real time situation, because right now we are in YouTube. So as people are watching this live, they would be seeing some recommendations on the right side, right? So that is given by a machine learning or AI system, or in the background, an AI algorithm is doing something to give content which will tempt people to click on, right? So it will be like something which they like or they repeatedly watched. Basically, like now we are in physics for students. So what will happen is, as this live goes on, some of the recommendations, the most viewed recommendations would become videos from physics for students, or
Okay.
like the previous talks, right? So that is what is happening. So that is happening because of the background machine learning or background AI system.
Okay.
So here you don't have a defined output or anything, but as the user, so each user profile is a data. So that
Okay.
will be stored, and in that, this algorithm applies a logic and looks at maybe like, okay, repeatedly somebody watches. It captures some features, some
Okay.
things that are repeating. Probably we can say some pattern. Okay,
Right.
somebody likes a particular channel video again and again. So then what will happen is the algorithm only knows to capture the pattern.
Okay. Okay.
So it tries to see like, okay, are you going to open YouTube like every day morning 10 o'clock you are looking at YouTube shorts. Okay, let's say that is happening. So that is stored as a data in the background, and this algorithm actually knows only to capture pattern. So whatever it sees, it looks at it as a pattern, so it captures the pattern,
Okay.
and
Okay.
then it repeats that pattern. So when you are repeatedly watching something, or when you are repeatedly watching a particular related video, then it will show you the similar videos. What it does is it arranges that in that pattern. So that is the difference.
That means
So
here,
algorithm has a baseline. Yes,
right. So whenever we are trying to define a logic that is coming through human brain, here all those patterns comes as an input to that algorithm and it behaves accordingly. Right.
yes,
Okay. So in that case, doctor, if you're telling that, say, for example, each channel or each individual or each profile, say, for example, there are millions of profile in Facebook, YouTube, etc. Now, if each of
exactly.
them are yeah, acting as an input source through which the algorithm maps, then my next question is that this huge amount of data, I mean to say huge trillions of data. What is the method that it is storing the data? If you can just tell me something on that.
So basically, these whether it is YouTube or Facebook or any media, they have a storage, probably as a cloud. We say it as a cloud because it is not see, if I have a laptop, I may have a pen drive or a hard disk to store my data. Probably now
Right.
like in earlier stages, a micro even the USB, it was like only some MB size and all. So
Right.
I have used the 1 GB pen drive and all. Now
Yeah, I also have a
250,
1 GB pen drive.
like
Yeah.
yeah, things are increasing, right? Like our storage need is also increasing. So all cannot be stored in one device, or a company cannot store its whole data in one place.
Right.
So what will happen is some data providers are there, they are giving a cloud access. So through cloud they can a company or a organization can store their data in a cloud environment. That means the data gets distributed and stored in different places. Like, I'm just saying it in a
Yeah.
simpler term. Uh,
Yeah.
so it is stored in a different places, and you will get access via online. So that is
Okay.
what is happening. That is what is there for this storage. Millions,
Okay.
trillions of data is created now. Yeah.
Right, right, right. Now the thing is that when we used to do the conventional programming, I remember that there was no mathematical background, or I mean to say, there was not a specific strict discipline that you need to learn. People from commerce, people from arts, I'm moving away from science. If they are telling that if you can type well, if you know if then logic, for next, looping, etc., you can do computer programming. And if you remember that Y2K problem when it happened, there was a huge intake of people from irrespective history background, English background, etc., but they were doing. So because most of our viewers are mostly students who are watching this, and maybe the questions would be coming, what would you recommend would be the I mean to say the background knowledge which somebody would require if they want to learn machine learning and data science? Okay, before that, Anant has got a question. How can I contact you? So I think that Anant, I can put on Professor Rubell's phone number. Okay, just ma'am, if you
I
can
think
repeat
email
your,
would be good. Email
yeah,
would
if
be
you can
good.
just tell me your email
Yeah.
ID once more, I will just type it out.
Yeah, my email ID is Lincy at iiitkottayam.ac.in. So you
Lincy
can
at
just
triple
contact me
I
via
T
email,
Kottayam.
eayam.ac.in.
Yeah. Dot AC. This is the email ID. I think I'm just flashing it over. Is it the right one, Professor? If you can tell me, Lindsay at triple
Yes,
IITKOTTAYAM
yes, yes. This is my
dot
email
AC.
ID. Yes,
Yeah. So Anant, you
yes.
have got the email ID. You can contact Professor Rubell for anything. Anant is saying to you, thank you very much. Thank you, Anant. Please be there because
Yeah,
a
you're
lot of
most
things
welcome. You can send an email. Yeah.
yeah. So the thing is that if what I was telling you is that if you can tell us, ma'am, that what would be the mathematical background or what type of knowledge would be required if somebody is going into data science. And before that, also, if you can throw some light that after passing class 12, say for example, if somebody wants to take up data science, what would be the graduation? What would be you prefer to be in masters, or would they don't want a masters after graduation they can go, and what type of mental setup in terms of mathematics science would be required? If you give us a complete idea, I think most of us would be happy to know from you.
Yeah, I know. Like data science is a buzz now, so many wants to start a career in data science, and data science is highly interdisciplinary, and data science has its core backgrounds in computer science, statistics, and math is also involved in that. So, like to start with, you can start from anywhere, I would say, because we conduct. Recently, we conducted a summer camp for kids of age. I think. people from 6th standard to class 12th were there in our summer camp. Recently, last year we had the summer camp. And it was about introductory data science and AI. So the program name is Math, Coding and AI, which is done along with MathLab Research, another company who's backing us in this project. And basically, school kids we took and we had a 5 day week camp. So they stayed in Triple Kottayam, and they were able to do basic beginner level data science projects. And finally, they were asked to do some projects and show. So that is what they could do that. That sixth standard student, he was very much interested in data science, and he learned all the way programming also. And there we start from math, and then coding also we introduced, and then we introduced the introduction to AI. And so I would say, like, even I am not a direct background from computer science. I am basically an applied mathematician.
Okay,
Applied
okay,
mathematician.
yeah,
That is
yeah,
my
yeah.
MSc Applied Mathematics. And I learned AI on my own, doing some online courses and
Okay,
all. So that is how I learned, and anyone can learn. It's up to their interest and desire to continue. So that I would say. And I think for the basic understanding, class 12th mathematics is more than enough. Class
okay,
12th math and statistics is more than enough to start with. And maybe some extra effort should be taken for some programming. You can look into R programming or Python, and then you can kickstart and learn about these things. There are so many courses. Even we are, as an institute, we are also offering some courses, and many institutes are offering offline and online courses. You can go about and start.
okay. Thank you very much for giving us a complete guideline for that. Now, when we talk of data science as a whole, Professor, is it that quantum computing also comes into play?
Uh, Quantum computing, it is a different area,
Okay,
but in data science, maybe like in machine learning or in AI, quantum has a part. And quantum AI and quantum machine learning has recently started getting attention, and probably eventually it will come to data science. Yeah.
okay, okay.
They're
Professor, my
not
next,
directly linked, but probably like
yeah,
when they get real good resources on quantum hardware,
right.
further we will have them. Yeah.
So for this Google Bard, say for example, okay, Anant is asking a question, Professor. Some book recommendations, please. So if you can recommend some books for data science,
Uh, okay, data science. There are a
or
lot
maybe
of books,
like,
and
as a whole,
if I think if you are a starter before even getting into data science, you should understand the basics of data science and the background of data science. So you should go and look into math foundation and statistical foundations for data science. So that would be a starting. And maybe like I don't have a list directly. Maybe like if you contact me through
yeah,
email, I
I
can
think
give you
you
some
can mail
suggestions on that.
on that.
Yeah.
So when we are talking of this Google Bard, for example, which is coming, Ashirwad Garg, yes, good evening. Say for example, it is walking on Palm 2, all those things which are coming up. So this Google Bard is also a part of this machine learning and taking responses from the matter also. I mean to say what you explained. That is how the,
So, yeah, I can comment on that. So when you say Google Bard, they all like ChatGPT or Google Bard, all are generative AI applications. So it comes
okay,
under AI, artificial intelligence, and it is basically in language processing. So NLP, there is an area of natural language processing, and
okay,
now we have an extensive area of generative AI. where we have these applications, and OpenAI is experimenting in ChatGPT, and um, now many have started exploring on that, and that's how you have BART, and it is also it is actually related to AI, and there are some machine learning models also in this. Basically, reinforcement learning we have ChatGPT uses for initial training and all. It uses RLHF, which is reinforcement learning for human using human feedback. So in initial stages, and BARD is also using Gen AI. So yeah, that's about it.
Uh, One thing, Professor, what I have seen, if you compare between ChatGPT and Google Bard, which is, I mean to say, one of the most popular things, I mean to say, maybe you can comment on that, but what I have seen, as far as the language, say, for example, okay, I'm coming to Anand's question later, just be there on the podcast. As far as the language is concerned, for example, write a letter to Dr. Professor Lincy to invite her on a podcast, say for example, this kind of a thing. If I go to Chat GPT, the way and the beautiful language, English language that it uses, I think that is much better. Better in the sense, not in that way, but it looks beautiful in terms rather to Google Bard. Now, on the other hand, say for example, if I say what is 9 plus 2, it would give result to 11. Now, when the moment I tell ChatGPT, no, my wife told 9 plus 2 is equal to 13, then ChatGPT will say, I'm so sorry, apologize for my last mistake, and then it would say this, all those things. Okay. Coming to Google Bard,
Sure.
on the other hand, if I say, for example, ask any question, and most importantly, what I have seen that Google Bard can interpret, photographs, a very complex direct equation, which instead of writing, I just upload it, quantum physics, and then it derives into the thing. But you see that Google Bard, as far as the mathematical part is concerned, any equation, say for example, if I give that, explain what is Schrodinger equation, or anything like that, that gives a kind of a better response compared to that of Chat GPT. Now, one my
Yeah,
question to you, Professor, is that why it is the difference and why there is a
definitely.
gap between the understanding and the input? Yeah.
So when we talk about ChatGPT, it is a chat platform. So
Okay.
you and that gives you an answer. So, how it generates the answer or how it understands your question is by the language. So, whatever question you are giving, uh, it will break it into small pieces and try to grab information. And also it stores the information as language blocks. So it is actually coming under a large language model, and basically the input only is the language.
Okay,
BART
sorry
is
to
also
interrupt.
working. Yes,
When you say it stores the information in language block, language in the sense, is it the literal English language or something
literal
where there,
English language. Yes,
okay,
literal
okay,
English. So it
okay,
internally it will give mathematical values and all, but basically it is a language-based model, large language-based model. Since it is having trillions of data, we say it as a large language model. Actually, Bard also is a conversational app or conversational platform. But the strength there is it is not just using the language input. It
oh,
has the like uh, the tools that it can use from Google also, right? So,
okay,
like a normal Google search itself can understand your image.
okay,
So you can just use Google Lens, and you can open and show any plant. Okay, for
okay,
example, if you see a plant and you want to know the species and all those things, you can just go to Google Lens and show to the plant and give search. It will do an image search.
okay, okay, okay,
So for Bard, it is integrated with the search platform. So basically,
okay,
when another difference is there, that is, if you ask about any news or any recent things, ChatGPT may not be able to give you
okay,
appropriately. Like exact, like what happened today or what is the news today, those things.
Yes,
But
yes, true,
Bard
true.
can give you because Bard is assisted with the search platform.
Okay,
So
that
that
means
is the main difference. So
okay,
it
so
not only uses the language model, it also uses the current search and Google, whatever tools Google is having.
okay,
Right.
that
So
means
that is the
ChatGPT.
that must be
You
there.
are telling professor it is unable to search through Google, which Google Bard can do.
Uh, I can't say that, but ChatGPT works based on the data that it has, which
Okay,
is based on language. So
language.
it
Okay,
generates the output from the existing database. I don't know what database they have, but they have it has a
they have,
standard
right.
database.
But in
And
terms of
another thing to comment is ChatGPT, the next version, the paid version, actually performs better in mathematical calculations, and it can also
okay,
understand images. You can upload images, and so many advanced features are given in ChatGPT 4. What you are seeing as ChatGPT 3.5, in that it is not available, but in
okay.
GPT 4 we have all these options. All these are possible in GPT.
Okay, that means, but even if it is storing the information in language, ChatGPT can do big calculations also. I mean to say, and produce perfect
Yes,
results.
yes, yes, yes.
Okay, okay, so
But
that
it
that
is
is
in the paid version.
that is better in the paid version. Yeah, and Google Bard, every time we log in, it shows it is updated. That means constantly it is being updated. And what
Okay.
I also find is that it gives a very detailed explanation of things like that. I mean to say, that's really wonderful. Okay, so professor, first question from Anand coming up. What do you think of autonomous agents as browser extensions for business applications like lead generation?
Yeah, this is actually a great business idea. It is possible, and I think many browser extensions are already there also.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. So, Anant, you got the answer. Rudra C is asking, can AI learn other language like Sanskrit instead of just English?
I think there is something called language translation, right?
Right,
So it can kind of translate and understand in other languages also. Yes,
right.
possible.
Anant is asking, is programming viable in the age of artificial intelligence? I think what he's asking that general C++ or object oriented those days when we used to do the programming, is it still okay? Because everybody is learning AI programming.
Even for AI, you need programming. So if you want to develop an AI system, you will be developing in programming. But programming, uh, it is always having an evolution going on every day. Like
Right,
what I studied may not be the one that my students are studying, and like being a computer science teacher who teaches programming, like out of the blue what language you are teaching may go in, but the logic actually stays the same, like whether
yeah,
you are doing it in Fortran or you are doing it in Python or you are doing it in C. For everything the problem logic is same. So the logical thinking is more important than your language. Programming is like just the previous question. No? Like if you
absolutely,
can work in English, you can translate it into Sanskrit if
absolutely.
you have the necessary information. So if you are able to understand C programming, you can easily translate and understand Python programming. Just
Absolutely.
few pages and few tries. Yeah.
Right. And the similar kind of a, I would say, thought, Professor, I had when I was learning the initial programming back those days when there was, you remember Q basic and GW basic and for next loop, and there was dim A within brackets. So you draw the dimensions, etc. My father always used to say that you learn one language, you can master any language. So even when I
Yeah.
was actually talking to few of my subscribers these days, I was also willing to learn Python programming because my understanding was C programming, C++, then Visual Basic, Visual C++, and Oracle So I earned this DBA certificate from Oracle Certification US. So during that days,
Yes.
those were the things. Now I see people are doing art programming, etc. So I was thinking that what is art programming? Let me have a look, because and what you told is right, that if somebody understands C, C++, then art programming, etc., would be the same, the logic, right? Professor, my next question is a little bit something interesting. Now, what I would like to ask you is that there's something which is called a bias in machine learning, I mean to say algorithms and its application. So how we can deal with bias or mitigate bias? Something, do you encounter this type of things in your classes or when you are doing your research?
Actually, we in AI or in machine learning, we have a part called bias and how we can measure bias and how we tackling mechanisms. All those things are there. And what I would say is like everybody who is creating an AI application or who's deploying an AI application in business should definitely look into bias and. Basically, we have social bias also. When our data is biased, automatically the algorithm that captures pattern, it is also going to be biased.
Okay.
So I can give you an example. Maybe like earlier there was a if you like now also it is there like filters, right? Now you see it as filters, and when you open your camera, it automatically corrects your face and things, right? The initial stages of that was like what it was doing is people a little bit dark skinned people, they are made completely into fair color. So that was a bias that was there in that AI system, and immediately that app was immediately taken out, and they were doing some more additional AI changes to the algorithm so that it will understand that that should not be done. Like we have different colored skin people, right? So that was a bias. And even now, no many AI systems when we deploy, sometimes what happens is like the pattern may be it may be having some pattern of people. Like let's say an online interviewer,
Hmm.
okay, for a particular position, if many candidates are female, then after some time what happened was like these are all real examples, but I'm not saying that company name or anything, I'm just
Right, sure,
saying it
sure, no
as an
problem. No, no, that's fine.
and like that interview automatic interview process, no, it what it after some time what happens is like many female candidates came, so many female candidates were accepted because of some so many different criteria that was they are qualified. And what happens is after some time, if a male or if another gender person comes, it started rejecting because of that reason.
Oh,
And that was so what I'm trying to say is bias can be there in AI systems, but we should always be vigilant and we should always be monitoring this AI
fine.
system.
Yeah,
You cannot like create an AI system, deploy it and forget about it. That
right.
cannot be done. We have to regularly check, and always our data should be diversified.
Okay,
We cannot give a specific group or a specific set of data and expect that system to work really well in every other
sphere.
data.
Right.
So the
Okay.
diversification should also be done repeatedly.
Right. I got a question, Professor, coming from Rudra. How much resources it will take to train large language model to understand any given language and respond in that language?
As a measure, I don't know. Like for English, you have OpenAI systems which are having millions and trillions of data that is available, and the more the merrier. That is what I can say. And for initial understanding, I think we should like probably go and test it for the thing. And when you say large language model, uh, like that large is still ambiguous. It can be
Yes.
of any size. So I think we can't pin to a particular size because data is not just about the size, right? Like some systems know, like there is something called machine learning for limited data. So where like if you are considering some medical some rare medical diseases and all, we already have very less data, so there
Okay.
you can't expect large data, right?
Right.
So
Right.
there what we do is with the existing data, we do generative learning. So it's GAN networks are all used there. Like
Okay.
it is about what you have and from that how you do. So you can't pin a size to that number of resources, that
Right.
size of the resource.
Right. Right. Absolutely.
I
Anant is
hope that
asking.
answers the question.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think Rudra, have you got the answer? You can put it in the comment. I will flash it to the professor. Anant is asking, Professor, how AI powered semiconductors differ from normal semiconductor?
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
I'm not
I
able
also
to
think, yeah, yeah, professor
comment
is not
on.
working in this part, right?
I'm not
So, yeah,
into the hardware.
yeah, right, absolutely. No, that is fine. Uh, okay, Rudra has got another question, Professor. How do you detect that there is bias in AI? Yeah, Rudra is telling Professor, thank you, got the answer.
Yeah. So, yeah, how do you detect that there is bias in AI? So, detecting bias, there are so many mechanisms to detect, and there are mathematical expressions also. What we do is like before deploying or after deploying also, you do some check. So the thing is like whatever input you give, it will give you an output, right? You try
Mhm.
to compare the input and output, and you always have an existing set of samples or existing set of information, or basically you have people, right, who can comment on the input and output. Like if you show a human, like okay, this is the input, like what would be the output, they will give you a reaction. Even in ChatGPT or in Bard or anything, you can see a feedback row, right? Like when ChatGPT gives you an answer, it will, you can also say like whether it is okay or good or bad, that comment feedback. So that is also one thing. So getting human feedback, constant checks, and like the mechanisms or the mathematical calculations that you can use. Like you have some parameters that you can employ and look into how you can measure bias. There are
Right.
mechanisms.
Okay. Now, Ashirwad Garg has got a very important and a very good question. And even Ashirwad actually detected my mind. I don't know whether he is using AI or not, because I was just going to
Okay.
ask this question to you. Well, many tech companies CEO says AI is dangerous to humanity. If then, why don't they control AI? And I would also like to add with this, Professor, that I think that data is something just like an oil. And we see countries, I don't want to go political, but countries fighting for oil. So the same question I mean to say would be that what would be the ethical considerations of data science? And yes, what Ashirwad asked, that if it is so dangerous, that why don't we control? Also, in a very recent speech, I meant to say not recent, about a year back, Sundar Pichai told that we have a controlled AI. And I smiled in my mind that can we really have a controlled AI when the it is just like Terminator 2, when the Terminator or the machine would overtake human being. I want to listen to you from you, Professor, because you have been an expert on this. Your views, please. After that, I will take up further questions from Rudra and Vishnu. So stay tuned. Yeah, Professor.
Yes. So to comment on AI ethics, and I think I would start with Terminator. So we are not yet there, I would say. And this ethics, there should be AI frameworks and guidelines when we are creating an AI system, right? And basically, people from law or people from government are trying to formulate those laws. And in some of the countries, there are laws and frameworks and guidelines are already deployed for any AI kind of system. And you can always see these giants going to court and answering questions. Just try some famous social media or any company. You can see people on trial, and there should be proper laws that are to be formulated. And the problem is like if it is about theft, okay, if somebody is doing a theft, we have a standard one, right? Like we have
Okay.
some particular numbers, particular cases, and so on. But that is not applicable in AI. Basically, to create law for AI, that law person should understand AI, right?
Yes.
So that is
Very
also
true.
there. And AI is something you can't put it in a capsule. Okay, this much is AI. I'll give it to you, and you can go. It's a continuous learning process, and every day it is changing. Like cut to 2 3 years before, we don't know what is Gen AI. Many of us don't know, but right now everybody knows. Everybody knows ChatGPT and everybody knows Bard, and we are using every day, right? But 3 years or 4 years back, we don't know what it is. So that's the amount of speed it is changing. So with the changes, the laws and the frameworks should also be updated every time. And if we can employ that, people are working on that. Um, there are so many researches also going on in the
Mhm.
AI ethics and how to build an ethical platform. And this bias, all these things are also coming under in this direction. And
Right.
how you can explain how you can create a responsible AI system. All these are parts. And I think now government or any other organization, many are investing on creating responsible AI systems.
Right. Absolutely. Rudra C is asking, Professor, if two AI give two different answers, then which response is correct? Or both answers are incorrect?
I think we can take the example of ChatGPT and Bard itself. Like you
Right.
can give the same question and they may give different answers.
Right.
And as of now, I would say like better to ask a human expert,
Absolutely.
because
I
even
think
these AI systems need human feedback right now. They are not that developed. But we will go into an era where AI will be correct always. Hopefully.
right. Absolutely. Okay. Vishnu has got a question. How are industries, sorry, and researchers addressing the potential risk associated with quantum computing in terms of decoding sensitive data?
Uh, think I'm not clear with the question. Okay.
Yeah, I think we need
Potentially,
to tell us
yeah.
that what
Are
is
you?
sensitive data.
Yeah. Are you talking about security, like how you can use quantum for security, cyber security?
Yeah, I think Vishnu, if you can put things apart, then it is better that we can if you can put a little bit details on that. Okay,
Yeah. Little clarity on decoding sensitive
yeah,
data.
yeah, if you can put up a clarity. Okay, so the thing is that, Professor, okay, see, he is asking security and personal data of individual.
Okay. Um,
I mean to say the potential risks that are associated and how we are securing the individual data. Yeah, I think that that leads to one thing. I'm sorry to interfere. I was watching a press conference. I think a legal issue between Google and some few people. This was there in YouTube. So the person who was sitting on the judicial position, he was telling that, okay, tell me that I am moving from this chair up to that chair, and I've got a mobile. It's got a smartphone. So do Google register my movement from this part to that? That means what the thing is that today, what Vishnu is asking, Professor, I think that today we have nothing personal. Every single movement, everything is all there on internet. Whatever I'm doing, whatever the way, if I'm not staying in the jungle, I think Google tracks everything. I'm sorry to say the name, but the system tracks everything. So what would be your reflections? How do you feel on that? I think there's a very pertinent question from Vishnu. Thank you, Vishnu, for this. And I remember that court case also, and Sundar Pichai was basically strongly questioned that I have a mobile and I'm moving from this to my next room. Do Google register my movement? If you have some opinions on that.
Yeah, to answer Vishnu's question, like if I understand correctly, you are asking about the potential risks. When quantum computing comes, what is the potential risk for our security? So basically, most of our systems are secured by cybersecurity algorithms. The famous one is RSA, right? So I will choose RSA algorithm, and I'll tell you like what will happen. So quantum computing, influence of quantum computing is in two ways in terms of your decoding sensitive information. One is to break the system, and another is to uh, have a better secure system. So you have post quantum cryptography, which will help you in securing the system if quantum becomes really efficient with respect to quantum hardware. And you have quantum algorithms which can break the systems, right? So quantum computing can give you an edge for breaking RSA because you need around I think if you want to break a current RC system, you need some 2000 to 5000 qubits. But we have not yet achieved it. And even when we achieve, there are people who are doing research in post quantum cryptography, like after quantum gets like good hardware and achieves the number of qubits that we need, we have cryptographic systems which can keep us secure. So it's an ongoing research. So I think I would say like quantum computing actually, if you feel uncomfortable that it will break RSA, don't worry. The same quantum computing has solutions also to keep us secure.
This leads to another very good question from Rudra, Professor. If Google collects all data, I mean to say data of all Indian citizens, who owns the data? Is it Google or Indian citizens?
I think this question should be directed to an lawyer or
Lawyer,
uh,
absolutely.
people who is in law.
Absolutely,
Um,
absolutely. It's a very interesting question.
I'm just looking into how that data can be used in a
Use.
good way.
So when you're talking of cryptography that the data is secured, I mean to say what I'm trying to ask you, I don't want to make things uncomfortable, but still if some system is, making a kind of a encryption of the personal data, ultimately that system is also owned by an individual. I mean to say finally an individual comes to know everything. I mean to say that is something. It is not that it is an autonomous robo or something that finally it comes at the end that it is the system or a human being which is owning the entire data of this universe which is being stored.
Somebody, somebody should
Yeah.
be there in that end. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Two questions, Professor. One is that I think you have read this famous book called Emperor's New Mind by Dr. Roger Penrose, which is a very famous book talking about artificial intelligence many years back, computers, Turing machine algorithms, etc. So, and it also spoke about the famous Gödel's theorem, which puts an end to kind of a logical thinking and axiomatizing mathematics. Now, my question is that all this data science, artificial intelligence, huge amount of resources and research. What is the? I mean to say, I'm trying to understand that what is the bottom line? Are we trying to develop a consciousness, or we are trying to make the machines think like human being?
All AI systems are not for that. So I would say that. And when you say AI systems, AI system can be dedicated for a particular process, which is called artificial narrow intelligence. And
Okay.
there is something called artificial general intelligence. So that like whatever comes across, I will tackle kind of thing.
Okay.
And super intelligence, artificial super intelligence is the next level where we actually think of like how it can have consciousness, like neurosymbolic AI, some systems like that. So any AI system can come under these categories, like these levels. So if it is YouTube's recommender system, like YouTube recommends some videos, right? That is actually in the background AI works. That AI works only to give you good video recommendations, right? So that
Right.
is an artificial narrow intelligence. It only looks at that aim and it works on only on that. You can't put it to
Right.
something, some other task. It can't go on do customer segmentation or
Mhm.
market strategy enhancement or giving business insight. That it can't do. It can do only recommendations. So that same algorithm can be given to any other recommending. It can
Okay.
be it can be any other recommendation system. The same algorithm, but it can't do any other things, any other task. Like if say if you have a robot, I think in countries like Japan we have robots which serve in hotels that can do
Right.
only that. So they are developed only for that purpose. Like the main aim of AI would be like to replace this repetitive tasks. No? Like we repeatedly do some things
Yeah,
that can be
absolutely.
done by another system, like which can do the repetitive tasks, mainly for that. And further, only these things comes this artificial general intelligence and artificial super
So,
intelligence,
Ritesh,
and
so
in
are we
super
are
intelligence only.
so
Yes,
are we targeting through to achieve artificial super intelligence?
some researchers are. Yes, true. Like
So that could be a
even
to all mankind.
um, could be
Maybe.
maybe like by the time if we have good rules and maybe we can also have things like a jail for AI, yeah, like something like
Absolutely.
that we should think of when it comes. Yeah,
Rudra is asking, can an AI tell lie?
uh, it can be biased and it may look like a lie,
Yeah,
but
because the
I'm not
concept of
sure.
lying only comes
Yeah,
through, I mean to say, human consciousness. When will you lie? Ultimately, when you actually know the truth. And that truth
true.
comes
Yeah,
through, I mean to say, judgment. And if we are feeding the data of AI with sufficient amount of judgmental viewpoint, then possibly it can lie. Because see, what I am telling that
I
today
think it
I
should
am
have a consciousness for that.
right. Now, when I'm
Yeah.
telling that today I am not talking to Dr. Rubell, say for example, now the question is that whether Dr. Rubell, who she is, and the entire atmosphere on this YouTube live physics for students, if these data is fed as something which is true, then obviously it can tell a lie. I'm to say that brings to this famous Terminator's question when Arnold Schwarzenegger was asking, "Why do you cry?" Because as a robot he doesn't has emotion, and when the boy was parting he was telling that, why do you people cry? I don't know what happens to your eyes. And that was a very emotional moment. Right. So Rudra is telling that to me, he who likes, who controls the AI controls the entire world. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So we are coming to the end of today's program. My last question to Dr. Rubell would be, what are the current, I mean to say, how would you, I mean to say, the type of research and the classes that you're taking, what do you think would I mean to say, as an aspirant, for those who are looking for a career in data science, what do you think as a professor that these things are missing in the students? And what would you recommend to take up more? And what should be more present in order to become successful as a teacher like professor like you, or maybe a researcher? What is the gap that you're finding, and how would you like to fill up this gap?
With respect to education, I would say like the way we learn, no, the way we explore, it is different right now. Like the present generation, uh, it has the present generation has everything brought to their plates, right?
Right.
So many don't have the desire to go and search for something. And I really appreciate your subscribers and whoever is in this live. So they have come up to see like someone, okay, what I can learn from this. That would be the curious thing they are looking for, right? So that part, uh, many kids, it is missing, I would say. There are people who come, there are people who search and try different things. There are a lot of opportunities right now, but I think this generation, since everything is brought to their plate, they are less concerned about going out for desiring something great and going about it for a constant period. That consistency is missing in that.
Do you think,
And
Professor, that AI contributes a little bit towards undermining the knowledge which is served right on the table? I mean to say, I see my daughter not using dictionary, but just asking the Alexa, what is the meaning? What is the pronunciation? I mean to say, in one way, it is good that it is saving a lot of time. But I have also seen that when AI saves a lot of time, then your mental outcome has to be more productive, more challenging, more complex things. And how do you develop? I mean to say, what do you think about that?
yeah, actually, as I told already, AI is replacing our repetitive tasks, and probably the time that it takes for searching, it is very less. So everything is there in the fingertip. Now, this current generation should learn to become better and explore further. Like they already have all these things, which we did not have, or which
Right,
our earlier generation did not have. They already have this. They should
right,
be trained to go to the next level. I
right.
think we all should be a part in empowering them to think about better things to do or the next think about the next level of things because when I was studying like in UG only I came to know what is a project, but now school students are doing projects. My kid for my kid I have to like help her do the project and basically printer a printer I'm seeing it for the first time probably like after my schooling. But right now, if you want to do a school project, you need a printer at home.
Absolutely.
That's how it works. So that level is changed, and I think as a parent or as a faculty, I should also equip myself to empower these students. So I should be a step uh, ahead of them so that I can lead. So with that, I would take a lead. And the students, I think, beyond repetitive tasks, they should have a desire to explore further. So that desire should be there to explore further, and how they can use it for like they can waste a lot of time. Even when in our generation, also we can waste a lot of time watching TV, right? Now
Mhm.
it's just become YouTube Shorts or Instagram or
Right,
any
right.
other social media. That difference is only there. Like
Yeah,
the baseline is like whether you want to waste time on that or do something useful on that.
right. I think
So
Rudra
that
has told, that
change.
is what, yeah, I was also thinking. That means, Professor, in one way, Rudra is telling you use a tool to augment human abilities. That means, Professor,
Yes.
in one way, I mean to say, see, I mean to say, as generations passed, we are now heading towards Mars, Moon, etc. I mean to say, yeah, it is quite obvious that technology would be driving us to take more challenges. I mean to say, from the early cave and Paleolithic ages, then how we cultivate, and now today we are. Uh, Obviously, there is a human evolution of human brain, human thought, science, space, everything. Uh, for example, if today in 2023 AI would have not come into the scenario, uh, we might have faced, or we might have taken up more time to address certain challenges which are right now done very easily. So, in one way, what you are saying, Professor, correct me if I'm wrong, that AI is actually helping us to reduce the repetitive task. On the other hand, it is also pushing us towards the brink of the iceberg when we need to think more of complexity. So for example, in the morning, I have to write a mail to my boss that, boss, I'm going for a leave. Now, I know that AI is already doing, and I might have spent 10 minutes time in the morning to write a mail to my boss that I'm going to take a leave and wait, etc. But these things are already done. Now,
Yes.
I mean, it is not a threat, but what I'm thinking is that if this is done, if my morning cup of coffee is done, if my car is ready, and if in such a way at one point of time we find that from morning till night, everything is ready by AI, then the question is that what do we do next? Are we, I hope you understand.
Yeah, true. Like if all my routine tasks are done by AI, I think AI puts us in a situation to be more creative,
Right.
and so that is one thing. So creativity now can't be shown in writing a letter.
Right. And I think that it will drive humanity for more inventions, more creativity, because we are trying to supersede ourselves only. I mean to say, when we talk of AI is just generated by us. So we are generating an AI up to this level, and then we are trying to overcome that. Means we are actually trying to overcome our own thinking so that we go on up to the next level. Something like that.
Uh, I can say a one line:
Please,
survival
please.
of the fittest.
Right.
Okay. So it's all about survival, whether it
Absolutely.
is created by human or created by God or somebody. Like whoever is surviving will be fit to
Yeah.
live. So,
Right.
yeah.
Last two questions, and then we will call it a day. Karan Nalawat is asking, will AI replace physicists and mathematicians?
I think people who excel in AI would be like the mathematicians, and I think quantum is a real good realm for physicists, I would say. And right now it can't.
Yeah,
I'm
I
still
think
there.
absolutely nobody can do that. And Vishnu, last question asking, what amazing discoveries could happen with quantum computing in science and technology?
um, I would say it's happening. Like so many researches and so many things, so many results are being published. And if you just get into even the open platform now, archive, we can see a lot of research is going on, and many companies are also adapting quantum computing. There is really amazing things that are happening in that side. And with respect to AI and ML, there are quantum AI and quantum ML projects people are working on. And I'm actually currently working in fintech related area, and I would say like JP Morgan or Goldman Sachs, they are also looking into quantum solutions, and some of their solutions are deployed also already. So it's
Okay.
already happening, I would say, and there are in so many fields, right? Like it's not just here; it is in quantum chemistry is there, art also it is there, like so many other fields in all,
One
many fields of science and technology. It
Yeah.
is
One quick
happening.
question. when I read through your profile, Professor, there was something like you're using the stock market with the AI
Yeah.
something. If you can just tell what actually it is, so it's very interesting.
So yeah, actually, my PhD research is to create a AI-based system. Basically, I started out my research in stochastic learning,
Okay,
and it is an advanced statistics topic, and that leads to AI also, and that's how my research goes. So it is to create a AI system which can automatically give you suggestions whether to buy or sell or hold
okay,
a particular stock. And we also looked into like how you can manage portfolio using AI.
okay,
So
okay.
that was
So that AI actually will help to generate those decisions that how we can do better in terms of
yes,
stock.
it automatically extracts data. It learns from the data and it gives suggestions directly. Okay, today you can buy these stocks,
Right, right.
something
That's
like that.
amazing, amazing. So, thank you, Professor. Wishing you a very happy new year to you and your entire family, and wishing all my subscribers who are watching and will be watching in future to this podcast. I know Professor Rubell has been tremendously busy, and we were actually adjusting the date and the time, but it ultimately happened with some technical glitches happening before that, and our tension was growing up that how can we start exactly at 8 o'clock. So thank you, Professor. Any last moment advice or anything you want to share with us?
So, thank you for the opportunity, and I would thank my institute, my administration, and my mentor, Dr. Ibn Demiras, for giving me like the motivation to do this podcast because this is the first time I'm doing a podcast like this.
Yes. How
And
did you enjoy?
thank
I
you
think it
all of the subscribers. Yeah, it was like as you said when we started till 7:58, we are not able to hear each other, right? So it was scary, and I think you have a wonderful group of subscribers. And I think we started somewhere, and the discussion, I really liked the discussion. And thank you for hosting very nicely. And like anyone who wants to do podcast, I think they should contact you. You were a really nice host, and you made me not tense and all. So
I told
thank
you
you
that
for that.
told you about because our subscribers, I mean to say, all the subscribers are just like my family. So when you are in a family, there is no problem. You just enjoy. So
Yeah,
thank you, Professor. We would love
thank you.
to interact with you. It was a tremendously engaging, enriching, and a wonderful session. May 2024 come up with more blessings from the Almighty God, and your learning and your researches may go all well. But please do not forget us because we will love to interact, and maybe some more emails would be coming to you. Those who are Karan Alawat, a very old subscriber, is telling Happy New Year to both of you. So
Happy New Year to you and all the subscribers also. Happy New Year.
thank
And
you.
thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor.
Do
So
visit our website, our institute website, and we'll be posting different programs also. Keep in touch. Thank you.
right, absolutely. And Professor, I would be sharing with all the screenshots and a note of thanks about this podcast with the link on LinkedIn. So if you want, with the permission of your administration, you can post it on your personal profile and share it, because I think that the institute will be happy to get this, because this is a good learning for more than an hour, and the students would
Yeah.
also love, because there are very good creative questions which came up. So before I end, just a quick note. Tomorrow I have got 56 participants already joining for a webinar on general theory of relativity, which is starting exactly at 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Those who are interested still in the last hour, do send me an email, which you already know, and register. And a big note of thanks to Dr. Rubell. Vishnu is telling, Professor, thank you for sharing this valuable scientific information.
Thank you. Thank you, Vishnu, Anant, Rudra. I think if I missed
Rudra, yeah,
anybody's name.
Rudra and Anand has
Yeah.
been very
For your
consistent.
wonderful questions. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, Professor, with that note, thank you very much from Physics for Students
Thank
to all the
you.
subscribers. Wishing you a happy new year, and may God bless you with everything. Vishnu is telling that I am from Kerala.
Okay.
And I think that Kerala is a spot which is quite liked by my wife. And she often tells me that when are we planning the next vacation to Kerala?
Do
So the
do
next
visit the institute. Do visit us.
yeah,
Yeah.
the next time I'm coming to Kerala, I'm going to visit you, and I'm willing to come down to your institute once also.
Yeah.
Okay, last
Probably we
question.
can do a video on your channel.
Absolutely. A person who know AI can do much more things than normal physics guy. Okay, that is Ashwin's opinion. That is how it is. Okay, so thank you, Professor. Thank you for a lot of
Thank you. Thank you.
dedication and time. And I wish you all the best. Ashirwad is telling thank you, sir and ma'am, for this wonderful podcast. Happy New Year.
Thank you, Ashirwad.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I will take a leave and thank you, Professor. May the new year come with more blessings, more challenges, and more research. Thank you very much.